Hello, everybody, and welcome to the MTDCNC EMO Podcast. Of course, we all know EMO is not that far away from the 18th to the 23rd of September. And my question to you is, have you got the right footwear? Because this show is massive. I think it's over 20 halls in terms of its size. So we're here to do a podcast to tell you about what is going on at the show and where we would say and recommend it is well worth a visit. So I'm joined today, myself, Lindsay Vickers. I'm joined today with Tom Scabala.
Hello.
Chloe Reed.
Hello.
And also Giovanni Albanese. So let's start off. We've got a few customers to tell you about and maybe some new products that they're going to be bringing to the stand. So let's kickstart with Autodesk. Now, of course, we all know the brand Autodesk, a multinational corporation that specialises in digital manufacturing solutions. But my question to the team really is, how does a company like Autodesk provide so much to industry, so many new products? How did they decide what to put on the stand?
Well, to be honest with Autodesk, they don't actually bring their own stuff. They actually bring customer parts, which I think is great because then you get a first-hand experience at seeing what can actually be made. So you're not looking at a part they've made in a machine shop with hours and hours and hours of time and perfected it. You're actually seeing customer parts. So you can see how smooth they are, what tools they've used, because Autodesk are sort of known for the design with AutoCAD, but they do so much more. So they do like they do a full spectrum of CNC machining from 3-axis, 5-axis, lathes. They do it all, and they are constantly bringing out new and improved features. So one of their newest features, I know it's not brand new, but one of their newest features is they've just brought out a full 5-axis deburring cycle for 5-axis, which can save people time, money, bench work. You can have a part come off a machine finished. So if you've got automation, you're running lights out, you're not going back in the morning and finding out that, wait a minute, I've got to spend the next hour, 2 hours now going through deburring all these parts. It's already done. So they also do additive manufacturing, they do generative design, they do so much. And the thing is with Autodesk is, I don't think there's anything in manufacturing they don't actually do. Okay. They do something for everything.
So the type of people on the stand will be their staff members. So this is kind of key here. So at an event like this, they will have people where you are going to them with problems and they can talk through them, help you find your solutions with their products, and then therefore speak to you. Because I know that, it's IT, it's all online. They can do a lot of that, but in person, that's kind of
it's great because Autodesk will bring their experts, but they'll bring their experts for the part of Autodesk you want to use. So if you've got a problem or a drawing, definitely go see them on the stand because they will have someone there who can help you in any part. And the thing is with them, they're such a forward-thinking company. They're always thinking about the future. If you've seen any of the stuff they had from IMTS, they've got demos on all week. But they don't just demo one part, they demo it all. So it's definitely a company that's forward-thinking and just wants to help you save money, wants to help you save time. So, yeah, it's a great place to visit.
I think it's great that they're bringing actual customer parts onto the stands. How often do you see these intricate parts being made, 15-hour cycles, but they're not that they're of no use to anybody, but they're not going to go out into the general public. They're not going to be put on a manufacturing process. So imagine if you turn up to EMO and you go, oh my God, that's nearly exactly the same as the part that I'm running back at home, and I've got CAD/CAM problems, I've got deburring problems. Well, this is the stand for you kind of thing, really, isn't it?
And engineers can really relate to them parts, can't they?
And the thing is they're a digital manufacturing solution. So they do everything. And especially in today's manufacturing, some of the parts we see on a daily basis are just jaw-dropping, where I wish I could make some of the parts we see. And some of the finishes you see, they're like glass, they're mirrors.
You can't believe they're coming off a CNC machine. You think they've been put through, like they've been on a CNC machine, they've been put through 3 or 4 different processes after that, but no. These CAD/CAM and digital software processes, they can do these things now. And it's just amazing that you can even take it off and take it straight to the CMM to be programmed and measured, and it's all done with no downtime.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Digital manufacturing solutions, really. I think that mechanical solutions have kind of evolved to as far as they can, and all the productivity gains now are coming from digital manufacturing solutions, such as the solutions that Autodesk can provide, and the complexity of the components also. You can't program them anymore on the duckboard directly into a CNC
time,
control.
wouldn't it?
You'd need to be a bit of a genius, wouldn't you, to be able to do it? So yeah, it's brilliant.
And the thing is, just lastly before we finish with Autodesk, is obviously Fusion 360 is one of their big CAD CAM softwares, and you see some of these parts and you see them program this part, and they make it look so easy because the software does a lot of it for you. And like you were saying, Joe, you tried to program that longhand, you'd be there all day. Some people are programming some absolutely unreal parts in 5 and 10 minutes because the software is just there to help you step by step all the way
Works
through.
in harmony with the machine tool.
Exactly, yeah.
So next up, let's talk about Grob. Now, Grob as a company, of course, they're a provider of universal machining centres, milling and mill turn, but they have a really unique machining concept. It's a very, very impressive company. The size of this company is absolutely massive. They're very powerful, but what's lovely, and if you don't know about Grob, you should really learn a lot because they are family at the heart of this business, but they have so much scope for so much more than a simple machining centre, don't they?
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head, Lindsay, really. They've got lots of unique selling points in regards to the machining solutions that they offer. And if you are a manufacturer looking to increase productivity, it's certainly something that you should investigate further. They've got some of the machines they've got on the stand. I'm going to go through them now. The G720F double spindle machine is one of the largest machine tools that they've ever exhibited at a show. And if you were a manufacturer making complex, large parts, to be able to do two at a time, you imagine
it's a game changer.
Yeah, massive game changer in a considerably small footprint, considering it's still a big machine, but the capacity and the size of parts and capability that you get from that machine tool. Also, you mentioned the uniqueness of the horizontal spindle and the tunnel configuration. That rigidity that you get from that is phenomenal. Yeah. It is absolutely phenomenal. We mentioned surface finish. You don't get much better surface finish when using that configuration. The other two machines that I'm going to mention and give you a reason to go onto their stand and look at what they do is the G550T with pallet storage system and AGV. This is going to be shown at an exhibition from Grob for the very first time. So it is a premiere for them, and they are focusing on automation a lot. So
hot topic.
Automation is in their DNA. Think about how they started for the car industry. Every machine that they supplied to the car industry was automated. So they've really kind of fine-tuned their solutions, and now they kind of are spreading that across all sectors, whether that's medical, whether that's oil and gas, whether that's aerospace. So again, another great solution, automated solution on the G55T, full fifth axis simultaneous machine tool with turning functionality as well, and the G350 GRC robot cell as well, which we viewed, Lindsay, at their open house recently. So lots and lots of reasons to visit the Grob stand. And as you mentioned, don't be scared of their unique selling points, because you can look at their machines and think, oh, bloody hell, it could be a bit scary because, you're working with an horizontal spindle, full fifth axis simultaneous table where the part can go 180 degrees effectively, and you can start hitting the part from the underside. But this is not something to be scared of. It's something to actually embrace.
Yeah. And as I said, they're a powerful company. There's so many different buildings. They're actually expanding their buildings out in Germany. And one of their buildings is just solely, I'm talking multi-story building, is dedicated purely to R&D. So very powerful, very forward-thinking, definitely worth a visit.
I think it's great that they're showcasing brand new technology. This is what people want to see, don't they? They want to see brand new innovation, and the fact that they've got two spindles on a machine, that is something that you want to go and see.
I think that the concepts, what Lindsay's touched upon in our opening statement is something that engineers should really investigate further and really try and find out for themselves how it can benefit them, how it can benefit their manufacturing process, because it really can.
Yeah, Joe, and I think for people that are doing a lot of production running, it should be quite forefront, because chip evacuation is like no other machine. You can't get chips away as fast as you can on a Grob because your part's upside down.
Exactly. And going back to the car industry, you know, their machines would have been running 24/7, 7 days a week, and swarf evacuation is absolutely key. And they need to get rid of that swarf because the machines are just running 24/7.
And the thing is, like you said, you'll never see a machine with a better surface finish because you've got rid of the swarf. And we all know that recutting your same swarf is what gives you your bad surface finish.
But also the horizontal spindle, the rigidity that you get from that spindle gives you...
Yeah, and I think it's great how it only comes out as much as it's needed. When you've got a normal vertical machine, you've got the full head, it's always out. Where the Grob just comes out enough. Yeah. And it just comes out enough and just keeps it so rigid.
And one big point to make is we've mentioned high volume work with Grob, but also some of these automated solutions are for low volume work too. So it's not just all about high volume. You know, this is a solution for absolutely everyone. You know, whether they're doing low volume, high mix, or high volume work, complex work, or any type of work from any sector out of any material, you need to visit the Grob stand.
Be open-minded and think about Grob. That's what we can say. Right, next up, so we've got Sodick. Now, this is a company that we work with quite closely, and in my eyes, they are, when Sodick do something, they do it right. And that's how I see their machines personally. They specialise in, obviously, EDM, injection moulding machines, and also machining centre, high-speed milling. So what are they going to have on their stand?
Well, how long have you got? Because Sodick have got some of the world first technology in wire EDMs. They've got for people that don't know, they've got the iGroove Plus technology, which I'd never seen before I went to Sodick, which essentially means as you are wiring a part, the wire is also spinning as well. So in this day and age with electricity prices how they are, Sodick have come a long way in trying to soften that blow a little bit. So they've got with the iGroove technology, you're using less wire. You can cut quicker. You get nicer finishes. They've got low power pumps on the machine, so they're just looking out for you as a business, not just your parts as well. And also at EMO, it will be their 40th anniversary, so they are bringing out, and I love this, they're bringing out the black models.
I've seen them. Ooh.
So they are bringing out a new machine, which is the ALC 600P Black Edition. So on their stand, they're going to have so many machines, but so many machines you've never seen before because of their anniversary models. Just looking, they've got... They're also bringing out 2 brand new models, black models again. They're bringing out the AP30L and the AP250L. Now, we don't know much about them yet, so we're looking forward to that because it's always nice when you're not really sure what you're going to see. So it's always, let's build some anticipation, and I'm looking forward to it. And then also they have some large premium machines as well. So they're bringing the AL60G with an Aroa robot. So I've seen this once when we visited Sodick, me and you, Lindsay. But I've never seen a wire EDM with a robot attachment.
That's different, isn't it? That is different. I don't think I've seen that either.
Which is great because it's just... Normally, our EDM runs for hours and hours and hours. But with the robot, you can just leave it running.
See you later, yeah.
Because they've now, with the auto feed, and if your wire breaks, it can auto feed your wire back in. Just leave it running. Just leave it running. They're so accurate. You can just leave them running for days, for weeks. They're also bringing a ALC 600GH, which after last year's cutting edge release, it's experienced a demand surge. So people must have liked what they've seen.
And it's good to, as you've said, it's great to see new technology at EMO. You know, of course you want to go there, but you want to see all of these advancements. You know, it's every single event you kind of see. We see it, but I think sometimes it's good to see it.
It's good to see growth.
Yes, that's what it is.
But Sodick have also helped with that as well, because as well as bringing out all these new machines, these nice fancy machines with all the new technology, with the robots as well, they're still helping the smaller businesses out with the standard models. They're still bringing out standard machines, but giving them a facelift. So they look like the new ones. They look brilliant. They still work. And why? They've got something for everyone.
Yeah.
They're not just aiming at one point in the market. They've got something for everyone. And I think that's brilliant to see.
You know, it's great to go and see and visit the machines. And like I said at the beginning, when Sodick do something, you know, they do it right and they want to do it with perfection. And that's definitely what we, you know, as a vibe that we get from that company. Okay, next up is ZMM. Now, this is a company that's based in Bulgaria, specialising in universal lathes. There's a huge scope of turning centres that they provide. I'm sure, I think, Chloe, you're going to talk about these, but they exhibit globally. So this is a big company here. So what's ZMM all about, Chloe?
So ZMM, like you said, a huge turning company. They have a different turning process that they trade themselves on from any other machine tool manufacturer out there. They're easy programming machines. They're faster than conventional machining. The distance between the centres go up for 1,000, 1,500 and 2,000. So they're for everybody, like we've said. It's not just one-stop shop for them. They can counter for everybody. They're a global company with stock held. So it's not, oh, you've got to wait 6 months. They hold their stock for their customers. And how good is that to have a relationship with your customer saying, don't worry, mate, we've got stock, but it's available, ready for you to go. They're very versatile. They're good for high production, high volume, and they are perfect for the educational sector. Not that we don't hear that enough, but coming from an educational background, having these machines on site in your colleges, at your company, not just to be able to play with, but say, right, we've had a case study from a customer or an old case study for a customer. Come and have a look at this. Go on an educational machine and have a go. And they're showcasing all this at EMO. And I just think, go and have a look at this stand. It's completely different probably to all the other technology that you will see. And they're a great company to go and have a look at.
And I think talking about the educational side of it is obviously there's a skills shortage at the moment. We all know it. We're trying as best to promote manufacturing. But gone are the days of the old apprentice on the little broken machine in the corner just doing whatever they can. So it's great to see that people are bringing out new machines that are dedicated for education as well, to give people just a better insight into what manufacturing has to offer.
I think with the technology as well that CNC machines are going down, EDM machines, all the machines that we're seeing, we still need these educational machines to keep up. There's no point, like you said, there's no point having an old machine in the background when these apprentices still need to keep up with the brand new software, everything like that. It still needs to be held at such a high standard.
I think you're absolutely spot on. I think education is key, but these machines actually lend themselves to education and to production.
Yeah.
You get the best of both worlds. And, you know, it's priceless to have a machine tool like this within your facility where, say, for example, you want to do some low volume work or you want your apprentice to learn on there. It gives you so much versatility and flexibility, and it's something that's really key and invaluable to have within a manufacturing facility.
And I think if you own a machine shop, and imagine if a part comes through that you cannot turn down, you know, they've got stock available ready to go. How nice is that to hear that a machine tool provider has stock? Sometimes you have to wait quite a long time for your sale, not just to go through, but for your machine to be landed, PDI'd, pre-delivery inspection, and then for it to be sent over, delivered, set up. That does take a long time. So for them to have stock ready, it is a game changer really in their view.
I'm looking forward to visit there.
Yeah, it'll be really nice to go see.
So the next company I want to talk about is Biglia. Now, their machines are sold by White House Machine Tools in the UK, and we've done a lot of case studies and videos on these machines. Now, again, solid machines, all turning centres. Now, they've sold thousands of these, but the key thing to these turning centres is high productivity and the options that they have. They're quite an advanced piece of equipment, aren't they, Gio?
100%, Lindsay. Very specialised lathes, CNC lathes, and we've got a real treat for you at EMO, a world premiere from Biglia. It's the BMX 45Y2. Now, this CNC lathe is just going to blow your mind. It's 10-axis CNC lathe, 45 mil bar capacity.
Whoa. Just before you even continue.
10 axes?
Yeah,
10
look at
axis.
Chloe's face.
That's unreal. I've heard you at XYZ. Like, that's about as much as
So
I
we've
can
got
cope with.
twin spindle,
Okay.
twin turret,
Yeah.
2 Y-axis,
Yeah.
and milling capability.
So it's basically all going on.
So
in
it's going to
size.
be, literally, you're going to be machining parts on the main and the second spindle simultaneously. So
That's
as
unreal.
Lindsay mentioned, high productivity. They're actually saying up to 50% productivity gains from this particular CNC.
That's mega. Yeah, because if you're doing high productivity, you're not putting ones and twos on there. That's thousands, and the savings across months, years, like that's definitely
50%. You're cutting your cycle time down by half. If you've got a 5-minute consumable, not a consumable, 5-minute part on your machine, what's that? What's half? I'm joking. Yeah, 2.5. If you do that, think of what things can happen.
Well, I think also what you've got to, it's one operation, isn't it? You're
Yeah.
feeding that bar in, and whether it's a prismatic part or a turn part that you're making out of that 45 mil bar, it's coming off in one operation. The 45 mil bar capacity is the maximum bar capacity, but the maximum diameter that it can hold is 100 mil. So if you had a step bar, for example, you could hold up to a 100 mil diameter swing. Very, very capable machine, very compact, very versatile, very quick combined tool turning and milling and drilling capabilities for hard materials as well. So they welcome tough alloys, not just the softer materials. They would welcome the tough alloys on this particular machine.
Forgive me for my ignorance here, but is that like that bar size? Is that normal? Is that a standard, or is it larger than usual for the type of machine?
I think it's small turn parts, but I think it's the sliding head machine tools go up to a certain size, and I think that this is a continuation really from say a sliding head machine tool. This is my own assumption on this, by the way. This is not what's written in the literature.
On a sliding head, aren't you up to 32 mil, and that's with the guide bushers removed?
Yeah.
So being able to go up to 45 mil, that's a big jump.
That's entering different territory, that is. That is like opening so many new doors. It doesn't just pack one punch, but it packs 10, because you've got all those different axes going at it at the same time. This will be something you don't want to miss.
Question is, Chloe,
100%.
do you want to have a good programming it?
No, I'm all right. My programming days are over, mate. I'm done with that. I'm retired.
Sure
You were training everyone on the
Yeah, that was it. I'm done.
I'm sure they've found a way of being able to
But that would
get
be
through that easier.
that's going to be some machine to
It'd
see.
be great to watch, and I'm sure that they'll have one in the UK soon at White House Machine Tools to be able to come and have a look for any UK potential customers.
Just to add to that, when we were there as well last time, their automated solutions and their way of kind of getting the part off from the machine, they've got a lot of advancements there as well, haven't they, Tom?
Yeah, there's something they do differently where they don't just have like a standard parts catcher we've all seen, because obviously if you've got a machine like this, 10 axis, you're doing some highly precision parts. You've got to have a machine like this, and you're doing hundreds, if not thousands of these. So you don't want the last part of your program to drop these into a part catcher and scratch them, because they've got to be right. The first one to the last one's got to be right. So when we were there a few weeks ago, they actually have I don't even know how to explain it, sort of like a hand that comes
An arm
over
that comes over, yes.
and grabs the part,
Yeah.
and they call it I think it's soft cut off. So it's
not just
it
a
holds
bucket
it
that comes
delicately.
out. It's not just a bucket that comes out and as soon as it's parted off, it drops. I've seen it. It actually it's like a mechanical arm that comes out, picks the part out and safely, and then as it goes along the parts catcher, it's got like a lined soft material, black soft material. So when it comes down the parts catcher, it could bounce off every surface, but it won't. It will stick to this lined material and carefully Cross
And it's the same when it goes into the, let's call it the bucket at the end.
Yeah.
The bucket at the end is exactly the same. It's all lined.
Yeah.
So your parts are only going to sort of drop into each other. But if they're made out of the same material, you're not really going to damage them that way. And also, the bucket is quite low. So normally some you get quite a drop when it comes off the conveyor and it drops in. It's quite a drop.
Yeah.
This is quite close. And it's got like a little slide. So they sort of slide in nicely. So if you've got delicate or even expensive parts, because let's be honest, if you're doing...
This machine will be doing them, won't they?
Yeah.
You won't just be putting a basic, I don't know, nut and bolt on a machine like this, will you?
No.
You'll be looking for those high profile.
And like you said, it's not just for softer materials. So you've got all your exotic materials on there as well. So
The full solution.
Exactly, yeah.
Solution in a very advanced lathe. Now, next up, we're going to talk about Anca. Now, this is a global tier 1 supplier of CNC tools and cutter grinders. Now, essentially, this is a company that manufacture the machine tools that then manufacture cutting tools. Right, Tom?
now, Anca are known for grinding machines, cutter grinding machines. And something that EMO is, they're bringing not one, but several world premieres, which... we don't know anything about. The public doesn't know anything about
How
them.
in this day and age can they keep that a secret, but keep that technology under wraps as well? That's
And you've got to keep it within the company as well, because you've got different departments working on them, haven't you? So,
The thing is with Anca as well is everything is made in-house for all their machines. So, like you said, there's going to be multiple teams working on multiple different parts of that machine.
But it's like Big Brother.
So-
They've all got to keep them in there.
So keeping everybody's mouths
Yeah.
tightly sealed must be a challenge in itself.
The challenge is improving the product from where it was originally. That's
Well,
a challenge.
because their FX7 has a tolerance of 2 microns over thousands and thousands of parts. Because the machine's cleverer than us, let's be honest, where it will measure the part after, it'll measure the tool after, and if it's scrap, it'll bin it. So you don't even have to go in after. But one of the things Anca's doing this year as well, which I've not seen, I didn't see it at A&B, and I wish if they did it, I wish, because Anca was one of the first stands we visited at A&B, and I learned more from that stand than most others, because
Really?
they got the guys on the stand are just so technically minded.
Yeah.
But they can tell you in such a way anybody can understand it.
Oh, that's great, actually.
So it's great, because I didn't know anything really about Anca before we got there, and after I thought I could have been an Anca sales rep.
Oh, God.
I don't think they wanted me though, so I did ask. But they're doing their Tool of the Year award as well on the Wednesday. And this isn't just a country competition, it's a global competition. So they're doing virtual and real tools. Now, don't ask me how you do...
How do you do virtual?
Don't ask me how you do a competition on virtual tools. I have no idea. But hopefully we can find out.
Do we know that if people can enter this, or are they already entered, and if there's a prize?
I think, but don't take me on this, I'm thinking it's already been done.
Right, okay.
All the judges are Anca staff.
Great.
So, yeah, it looks to be a great week for Anca with the Tool of the Year ceremony, and also these 3 new machines, which they're definitely keeping under wraps.
Sounds fantastic, Tom. I mean, I can remember being with you at A&B and you know, learning about how they manufacture the cutting tools from solid carbide and how the surface finish of that tool can affect tool life. It was fascinating. And like you said as well, and you mentioned the repeatability of that tool over so many thousands of tools being manufactured. They've got a lot to show off at EMO by the sounds of it, Tom.
They do, yeah. And obviously the thing is with Anca, which I didn't know when we were at A&B, I've since learned it, is they can do from a 0.1 millimeter tool, which, let's be honest, a human hair is 0.1 millimeters thick. So you imagine a tool that's same as a human hair, up to 25.4 for ball nose, end mills, step drills, and just aerospace components. It's absolutely mind-boggling, and I just can't fathom using a 1 mil. I've used a 0.1 tool before. I have no idea how
You
they
don't
make
even
it.
know how
for?
to pick it up.
What did you use it for?
I used it for drilling. I had to drill some really, really tiny holes, which actually were, which wasn't fun.
Well, Anca will make it fun for you.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, okay, so when we talk about precision, I definitely think Anca is definitely the light of that word. Right, okay, Akim Metal, a company from Turkey who sell SMB turning centres. Now, this is quite a big company, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. And what I want to say first is a lot of companies have problems with cycle times. What you hear, I want to cut my cycle time down by half, taking too long to set up my machine. Well, S&B machines are basically built for this problem. It's gantry loaded, it's twin spindle, twin turret, balanced turning. You can have a 1 meter part length in there. And obviously what happens is the gantry comes over, picks the part up, brings it in, puts it in the main spindle, then after it's machined that, instead of transferring it over, it picks it out, turns it round. It's got the space to actually turn the whole part around to then stick it in the other end.
I'm visualising
of
this
the chuck,
machine,
sorry. And then it picks it up again to put it on the bar catcher, because you're making those long types of components. You're not going to be able to feed that down, are you? A normal parts catcher. It's good for high volume productions. 70% on improvement on cycle time. Wow. That 70. Is massive. 70%. Like, not just cutting it down by half, add another 20% onto that, and you've got it. Standard automation systems, and also includes they also are well known for pinch turning. So there's a lot going on this stand this year.
So come on, what is pinch turning?
Correct me if I'm wrong. There's been a long time since I've done it. I'm sure it means when the two turrets work together and they pinch basically the part, and one's roughing and one's finishing at the same time. So cutting your cycle time down again by half. By adding
70% though. We see a lot of like, we can cut your cycle times by 20, 30%. But 70% is massive.
And this is just from the machine. So imagine if you had your work holding. Imagine if you had your tooling. Imagine if you had your coolant. You know, it all adds on. You could probably not 100% because then it would be obsolete, wouldn't it? But you can get to the greatest aspect of machine turning that you possibly can by going and having a look on their stands, because from what I've read here and had a look at their website, it isn't one to miss.
I need to look at this. I'm looking forward to visit them, Chloe.
Yeah, it's really, really, really interesting.
Right, Kitagawa then. Kitagawa Europe, a Japanese company who are work holding specialists with a household product, of course, which is the Kitagawa chuck. What will they have on their stand? And I hear some of it is top secret.
Thanks, Lindsay. Yeah, they've got 2 top secret products that are going to be on the Mazak stand, which is next to the Kitagawa Europe stand. And we'll actually also be going onto the Mazak stand to find out what they are. But Kitagawa Europe are renowned for work holding solutions and innovations, automation solutions and innovations, and they'll be bringing out a lot of world premieres at EMO, which include the BR chucks, largest through-bore chucks, with quick change jaw options to reduce setup times on a lathe, but also options for your 3-axis milling machines. The rotary tables that they're bringing out now, they're bringing out a new one, which is the RKT 500, which is very compact and light. Needs to be checked out when you're at EMO. Again, reducing the footprint of the rotary table, so you've got more working area. Mm-hmm. But they're also working in collaboration with Lang, and they've brought out a trunnion style type work holding solution with 0-point functionality in the middle of it, which is called the CB production system, which was created in partnership with Lang, and an automated solution as well, robot gripper with measuring scales. So they've got lots of different solutions to help increase productivity on your lathes and on your milling machines. So it's something that you certainly should go out and check.
Gia, what do you think is happening in industry where Kitagawa go, right, okay, we need to improve on this? What is it? Because they're bringing out all of these different products, but what is it they're seeing? And then why are they developing some of their products? What are they getting?
I think it's evolution. I think that everything's evolving. You know, the machine tools are evolving, the cutting tools are evolving. Automation is playing a big part in all work holding solutions now, because we're having to automate the machine tools. So the work holding solutions need to change to accommodate for automation. 0 point plays a perfect part in automation. Even the quick change drawer option there that I mentioned can lend itself to automation. Automation, I think, will be one of the biggest aspects at EMO 2023. I think it's still on the rise around Europe and around the world. So I think that work holding is an integral part of the machining process, and Kitagawa have the solutions that could potentially increase your productivity dramatically. So certainly go on to their stand to check out the solutions that they're offering at EMO this year.
I think listening to what you've said as well, like we said, it's the evolution of where things are going, but they're listening to their customers. 0 point works, Trunnion works, so why not bring them together? Why not integrate those systems? And we were looking at it earlier. It looks a fantastic system, and I bet it will fly. And to see it in action at EMO will be really nice to see.
No, 100%, Claire. That's a perfect statement. I think that you're really getting the most out of your machine tool.
Yeah, definitely. I look forward to that dramatically.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh dear. Right,
Thanks for
okay.
pointing that out, Lindsay.
Right. Leadwell, sold in the UK through White House Machine Tools. And accuracy and reliability is at the heart of their machines' ethos, really. So what will they have on the stand then, Chloe?
In addition to that, also high rigidity and high efficiency go really well with these machines. I just thought I'd point that out. So we're going to be talking about a 5-axis head table center, the BC series from Leadwell. So like I said, high rigidity, high efficiency. You've got a 600 to 800 rotary table along with a 5-axis head. So what you can have is you can have your normal, basically 3-axis moving with your swing head, and also you've got a rotary table as well. So basically you're getting 2 machines in one. That's what I think about. You've got 5-axis linear scale, a large friendly workspace, so it's ergonomically suited to the user, so they can take parts on, parts off, change tools, add coolant, everything like that. It's also got a turning function, and with the 5-axis head, you've got a swing of 110 degrees. So 110 degrees that way, back to centre, 110 degrees.
Chloe, is this normal?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't think this is normal. Normally, on a 5-axis, please tell me if I'm wrong, 5-axis, you normally have the bed that moves along with the head, but this has got a 5-axis head on it.
This is a different type of configuration.
It's a different ball game, isn't it?
It's a different configuration. I mean, you've got the machine bed, the table, with a built-in rotary table into the table of the machine, into the bed of the machine, but then you actually got the tilting head configuration, which gives you a lot of versatility, actually. I really do like this configuration of 5-axis machine tool, because you could even put a column onto the rotary table and use it as like a horizontal machine, for example. So lots of different options with this type of 5-axis machine tool, and they look really nice as well. You know, visually they look really beautiful machines.
And like they're having this at EMO, so go and have a look. And like you just said, Gio, there's so many things that you can do with this machine. You could have a tombstone on there, basically just spin the workpiece round, or you can spin the head round. So 2 and 1, 1 and 2, kind of
Ideal
think about
for
what you want.
Subcontract machine shop, would you
Probably
say?
for anybody, subcontractor, high productivity, maybe one-offs, maybe R&D project, research and development. The list could be really endless, and that's not just the only machine that they're going to have on the stand. They've also got an LTC series, so this is a turning machine, and it is a big monster of a machine. So you've got 103 mil bar capacity with a powerful main spindle.
They're having this on the stand,
Yeah,
Chloe.
yeah, having it on the stand.
That's a big old machine.
It's a massive machine. We've just been looking at the pictures and I couldn't believe how big it is. It's got a parts catcher on there, multi-axis CNC lathe with box slideway. So you can have a lathe, but the amount of information and everything that's gone into this machine makes it huge. 45 degree slanted bed, and it's obviously got a 12 station turret, and it's a 24 station turret with your half index. So with that, you've obviously got 12 stations. But if you half index, so you can put 2 tools on 1 station, gets you double the amount of tools. So high productivity, high efficiency, goes on and on and on with these machines, really.
I'm going to say something quite controversial here. Only because, yes, we create videos with MTD and we can give you enough information in your armory before you get there. But I think to see a machine like this in person, to touch it, to feel it, to experience it, to see its size, I think is so important. I'm all for digital media and everything like that, but I'm also all for shows. So it's definitely, we will stand there and we'll talk about these machines, but it's definitely worth going and seeing all of this technology that we've spoken about today.
Definitely. You need to see it in its raw form to really take it all in. It's okay, like we do a great job, not to toot our own horns or anything, but to give the customer what they wouldn't see. These things like EMO and other exhibitions that we go to, we can go there to showcase and show everybody that can't go, but but to go there and see it and to see what everybody has to offer, it just blows your mind every single time.
Definitely. Right. Okay. So that's it for today's EMO podcast from the 18th to the 23rd of September. Hopefully we've helped you make your journey around this wonderful show that's coming up be a little bit more efficient. Thanks, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the 18th to the 23rd of September, MTD will be at EMO 2023 in Hanover. So what are you waiting for? Get in touch, get ready, and get excited about EMO.